Hey guys, welcome to the last episode of Sidetracked for the season. And I'm gonna be honest, we got a pretty stacked one. So we've got our musical guest of the week is gonna be Ike, and he's gonna also have a little bit of a feature from a friend of ours, VP. And then we're gonna be talking about our album of the week. Leah, do you want to introduce it?
Yeah, so we let one of our other producers pick the album of the week, and I think we're all pretty happy because we all wanted to talk about it because it came out earlier this week, or April 14th. And it's Damn by Kendrick Lamar.
Yep. And I mean, this one, it's a super relevant like pop culture thing. I mean, he's a huge driving force in hip hop right now. I think I think this definitely cements him as, in my opinion, the greatest rapper that is in the game right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it's particularly close either. I mean, everything he releases, he's got the Midas touch, and not in the bad way, like the story, like it's a good thing. All these things he's touching are turning to gold. But yeah, so you want to get started? Tell me some of your opinions.
Yeah, so I really liked it, and I don't really listen to rap music very often, so I don't usually like many rap albums. So whenever I do, I feel like it's a pretty big deal. So I was a big fan of this album. I thought that like not only is the stuff that he's talking about in the lyrics and stuff, not only is it relevant for what's going on today, but it's actually like it's a pretty nice piece of work, and it's not just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I think up there.
Mumbo jumbo.
Mumbo jumbo. I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, I actually think. So have you listened to, or how versed in Kendrick Lamar's discography are you?
Okay, so I was telling Brad earlier, I listened to Pimp a Butterfly like once or twice when it first came out, and then I just never listened to it again.
Okay,
I don't really
well
listen to
that's a
rap
shame,
music.
but all right.
But I have listened to this like at least 14 times.
Okay, that kind of makes sense to me. I feel like this is definitely his most like poppy record.
Yeah.
Because like To Pimp a
Thanks.
Butterfly.
That makes me kind
well,
of...
but
No.
if you're not trying to listen to a lot of hip hop, like this one makes sense that it would be.
Yeah.
You would like it more. But yeah, it's also, I don't know. I think this is his darkest record too. I think this is like the lowest that we've seen Kendrick get. I mean, because you've got a song like To Pimp a Butterfly. You've got You, and it's him, really critiquing himself, but then you also have I on there. It kind of balances out. He's got this where he's really digging into himself and criticizing himself, but then he has this self-help like anthem later on in the record.
Yeah.
Whereas on this one, I mean, it's pretty much all the way through pretty bleak. And I also think, oh man, like I love the way that kind of the motifs and the important parts of the record are kind of juxtaposed against each other on it. You've got pride right next to humble, you've got love right next to lust, you've got fear next to God. I don't know. I think he's going to some really dark places on this one.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of where they're placed, I think, like, I know your whole idea there is cool, but as far as like the flow of how it goes, one thing that I was kind of thinking was it would be really cool if Humble came right after Loyalty, because Rihanna at the last part of Loyalty, she talks about how it's so hard to be humble and stuff. And I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool if it transitioned into Humble, but it doesn't, which is okay.
Well, I still think, and that's another thing that he is a master of, is the transitions between each of his songs, and the way
like
that
the opener, Blood, how that transitions, like that's one of the smoothest and coolest openers of all time, I think.
Oh, for sure. And then especially at the end with at the end of Duckworth, where everything plays backwards and reverse. Oh, it's so good. But he's just so good at that, at making a cohesive record and taking every theme and every idea that he wants to talk about and bringing them together in a way that just feels like it's an album. You listen
it's
to...
not just a bunch of songs thrown on a track. It's actually like a piece of work.
Exactly. And I think this album's no different. I also think this is the best production on any of his records by far. I think this one's really good. I think he does fall short a little bit in some of his lyricism and in terms of just kind of the general feel of some of his songs. Like, I don't think any of my favorite Kendrick Lamar songs are on this record, but I think that the production on every one of them is crisp and perfect.
Yeah, definitely. No, I was reading. So I like to do my homework on articles or not articles, on albums, so we talk about them. And one of the things I read on USA Today, of course, they did a huge feature of him on their life category or whatever. And one of the things, like the writer that critiqued it or whatever said this album sounds as musically imaginative and politically imaginative as Kendrick has ever like sounded or whatever. And I thought that was like, that's pretty good way to sum it up, I think.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. You say that I still don't feel like I feel like this touches on bigger issues than To Pimp a Butterfly kind of, but I don't think that it does it as completely. I think it just kind of dabbles in, he mentions at the end of what is that? The end of DNA, or at the beginning of DNA, where he has the clip from Fox News about how like hip hop is doing more damage to black communities than racism has. Like he touches on that, but it's not like To Pimp a Butterfly, where at the end of each of those songs you get that that interview with Tupac, where he's talking about misuse of your influence and these other themes that are brought out on each. Like I feel like that record, the things that it wants to delve into, it goes way deeper than, because some of these are kind of surface level, to be honest. I think anyway.
Interesting. No, I think it's funny that you talk about Fox News, because it's been a rough week for Fox News. But anyways, we won't talk about that. One more thing that I did want to talk about was that the rumors about Nation being released and how like this was released on Good Friday and all that stuff going on. And I think that'd be, I mean, we all want it to happen, but that'd just be something cool. And I figured that's something just to mention to everyone listening.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of hope that I want more Kendrick Lamar in my life, obviously, but I don't know. I want him to take a year or two and give us another. So we're about out of time. Got to do our out of 10. What are you thinking?
I'm gonna give it a solid 9.
9, really?
And that's weird for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say. See, we're a little bit off this time. I think it's like a 7.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm gonna have to cap it off at a 7.
No, I can respect that. I really dug it.
I dug it too.
All right.
All right, so that's about all the time we have. We're going to cut to a commercial break, and then we're going to have an interview with Ike. It's going to be pretty sick.
Hey guys, we're back with our musical guest Ike, and we're going to ask him a couple questions about what he plans to do in the future and what's going on now with him.
All right, so let's get this thing started off. How'd you get involved with music?
I grew up in a musical family. My dad has played guitar way before I was born, and my mom is the pianist at my church. Go to a small church in Lee Summit, and it's kind of been a part of my life growing up. And I started doing piano lessons like kindergarten-ish, and I continued that up through high school. And now I'm not really taking lessons, but I'm continuing to write music and be involved in that. I was involved in orchestra in middle school and high school, jazz band as well. So it's been part of my life from the beginning. All of my grandparents played music as well, so it's just kind of been an influence that's been around me.
So heavy music background. What exact instruments do you play?
I play piano and violin. Piano's my main one though, and then I write music, like electronic music. So tons of different electronic music instruments.
So is that how you would describe the music that you play is electronic, or?
Now, yes, more than the other classical instruments, I'd say. I'm a electronic instrumentalist.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So what's your favorite type of music to listen to?
Oh gosh. Recently, hip hop and EDM, those are two of my favorite genres, but I listen to almost everything else. I'm not as big a fan of country, western type music or like super heavy metal, but everything else, I'll listen to it all. I listen to so much music every day. It's just always there.
That's how you got to do it, man. That's how I think.
Wide
I
variety.
hate when people like pigeonhole themselves, like, oh, I only listen to, because there's good music in everything.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You just gotta broaden your horizons. So, what are some of your favorite artists? You mentioned some genres.
Recently, Gavi. That's one of my favorite of all time. He was a producer the past decade or so, and then recently he got into like Christian EDM type stuff, and he's one of the first to do it. And I think what he's doing is great. He's got a big fan base too. I like almost all hip hop I hear, all the types. Kendrick's new album is pretty sweet. Lecrae's probably my favorite rapper of all time. He's a Christian hip hop artist. Social Club too. They're a duo. They're pretty cool guys.
Cool. So, do you work with any other artists?
I do with several people here on campus. My boy VP, one of my best friends, he and I recently wrote a song, and it's out on iTunes now and all other digital music stores. There's also some other music tech people that I've been working with on new songs, and I'm going to be releasing a lot of stuff soon.
Cool.
All right. So do you like play with them? Do you guys go, do things like concerts and stuff together, or?
Not so much on a concert, really, but I am getting more into live performance stuff, like with student recitals here at school. I do recitals with the music tech ensemble here as well. So I'm starting to get into it. I will be performing more with my friend VP as well, now that we're starting to get some local attention, but that's how.
All right. That's pretty solid. So what would you say, you said you're going to start playing with VP and stuff, but let's look further into the future. What are your plans? What do you see yourself trying to do?
My dream job would be as a producer / artist, like kind of what I'm doing now, creating my own songs and then being able to sell them and perform them as well. I think it'd be really cool to chart like the Billboard list. Also, my ultimate goal is to receive a Grammy. Doesn't really matter the category, just to say that I got a Grammy, that'd be so cool. And then once I got one, then move on to trying to get some more after that.
Figure out what's next.
I just keep on going until I'm not part of this world anymore. So.
Cool. So besides the song that you just talked about, I kind of want to hear more about that. So what's it called?
It's called Act Like It, featuring
Like It.
Mackenzie Umsheed, a friend of ours in music tech. Well, she graduated already, but she has killer vocals. VP and I, we wrote that several months ago, and it's been kind of a long process getting it out there because we had to do some legal work. Like, we got it copyrighted with the U.S. government. We wrote out our own contract, like who gets what.
And how old are you again?
I'm 19.
You're 19 years old and you're doing that. That's really cool to me.
And then we also had to go through this company that distributed the music out to like iTunes and Google Play, Spotify, and all that. So it's been a long process, but we're happy it's finally done and out there now.
No, that's very cool. I'm looking forward to downloading it and stuff. Do you guys have any other projects that you're working on right now?
Yes, actually, VP and I are both working on our own solo EPs, kind of our own songs, but we're also working on a combined album together.
Okay.
We hope to release that soon.
Well, I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, we're looking forward to it.
Maybe we can give it a nice review here.
Oh man, maybe me and Leah can be at each other's throats arguing over it.
It happens.
So you mentioned the legal work you were going into. Where all can we find your music? You said all digital.
It's on all digital music stores, all the main ones. It's on some like third-party stores too, kind of not the lesser known.
Can we get it off LimeWire? That's all I know.
Possibly. I don't remember all the names. There's so many companies that it distributed out to, but the ones we mostly advertise are the ones more people use, like iTunes and stuff.
Cool.
So what about other social media stuff? Do you guys, make updates and stuff on like Facebook or Twitter?
Oh yeah,
Instagram?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I have the same social media handle on that. It's it's Ike, spelled out UKNOWITSIKE. That's all my social media. VP is on social media as well. He's VP3 Productions, and we promote our music on there and stuff. That's kind of how we have grown a local fan base.
How exactly did you and VP meet?
Okay, so beginning of last semester, we both signed up and tried out for this talent show, Family Weekend talent show here at UCM, and we were competing against each other. He won second place, I won first place in that, and after that we got together and we're like, hey, let's try to work on something. We kind of like the same music and stuff, and just went from there, and now we're like best friends, and we have a single out on iTunes. Like, it's crazy where things go from.
Oh yeah.
And you don't know like where you're gonna meet someone that you're gonna have like a certain future with, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. we didn't know we were gonna meet each other.
Yeah.
So, and now we're
Yeah.
working on this TV show with Brad and stuff. But
There you go.
no, it's crazy.
Yeah, and I know you guys can't see it, but I gotta mention that every time that you have said VP, he's over there in the background doing this dance, cracking me up. Yeah, I'm really glad that you guys met, because you two, I don't know, from watching you guys have that, like, you're fun to be around, both of you, and
Appreciate
I'm glad that y'all came on the show. You guys are doing
Yeah,
And
some
we're
really good
about to
stuff.
hear this song. You guys are about to play it live for the first time, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I
for sure.
know, that's
We're
gonna
looking
be
forward to
awesome.
it. Yep.
All right, so we have one last question. We're gonna stump you a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
If you could go to any concert, past or present, if there's any, not future, Leah,
No fear.
who would you go see?
I would see Gavi, the guy I mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
I've been a fan of his for years, and he doesn't really come to the Midwest much. He does tours like around the coast, and I haven't been able to travel out to one of his concerts. So
Mhm.
until I see him, like that's a concert like I'm really looking forward to.
Well,
Yeah.
let's rent a bus. We'll decorate it. And then at the sidetrack, we'll just go.
We'll
to the coast.
advertise
Sounds good.
And
with
we'll go
ulterior
from there.
motives. All right, well, I think that's about all we got for this
Yeah,
interview.
that's all I have.
you.
We're
Appreciate
gonna cut to a break, and then Ike, you're gonna play some music for us.
Sounds good. Hi, my name is Isaac Barkley. I go by Ike. That's my artist name. You can follow me on social media and SoundCloud at It's Ike, UKNOWITSIKE. And the song I'm about to play is called Happiness.
Yeah, you know it's I-K-E.
Once again, my name is Ike.
I'm VP3.
We're about to do the first live performance of our song Act Like It. And unfortunately, Mackenzie Umsheed could not be with us today, so her vocals will be backtrack. But the rest of it will be live, and we'll have VP3 playing sax. And tomorrow, it's on iTunes and all other digital music stores.
Bother me not with all that chatter. Promises ain't gonna make things better right now. Your words don't matter if you wanna be together. Boy, you better act like it, act like it. Promises don't mean nothing. Boy, you better act like it, act like it. If you wanna be together.
Girl, it's been a long night, long night. I can't even spend time with you. Looking, searching, but all I found was goodbye. Let's hide the truth. I heard there's another guy. You turn your head when I walk by. I know that you want to leave, but hang on, hold on, baby.
Bother me not with all that chatter. Promises ain't gonna make things better right now. Your words don't matter if you wanna be together. Boy, you better act like it, act like it. Promises don't mean nothing. Boy, you better act like it, act like it. If you wanna be together.
Yeah, you know it's I-K-E.
Kill my hopes and laugh at them. Grew like flowers, cut the stem. Can we go back to the time when I was more than just a friend? Love changed like a new season. Why you left, no good reason. Here I am, still all alone. Can't even reach you on the phone. I don't wanna be that kind of guy who waits for you to apologize. I can make it through another night if I kneel and praise to the one on high. I don't want another broken heart. I searched for love right from the start. You don't know how to see the truth, just know that I did it all for you.